In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to scale to 10K per month with a clipping agency. All that I ask of you is to follow me on Instagram and keep up with my journey. I wanted to start off this video with my results that I've gotten from my agency. I started around 12 months ago. My very first client was Vincent Fisher, and very shortly after that, we got Brez Scales. And when both of these guys first started working with us, they were at around $100,000 per month, and they both are making around $1 million per month now. Now, I'm not saying that was completely us, but we were definitely that top of funnel traffic that got them a ton of leads and a ton of brand awareness. So WAP, the billion-dollar company, reached out to us to run clips for their YouTube channel, and we've gotten them tens of millions of views for their YouTube channel. So after partnering with these huge brands, we've amassed over 2 billion views with our content strategies for our clients. We did all of this by just turning the most meaningful moments in their content library into viral clips. As I said before, we were a big part in taking clients from 100K per month to $1 million per month. I know $1 million per month sounds like a lot, but if you think about it like this, it kind of opens your mind a little bit. So if you have a course that's $2,000, right? You're getting hundreds of millions of views. And you get 500 people to sign up for that course every single month, you're going to hit $1 million. So now you can kind of see how valuable we are as the top of funnel traffic. I hope that puts into perspective how insane this opportunity is. You have the ability to add this much value to someone's brand, to someone's business. Okay, so now I want to get into how you're going to obtain these 4 clients. Now, if you don't know the basics of this offer, I suggest you go watch my other YouTube videos explaining simply the process of everything. This is kind of the next step. This is how to get your first 4 clients and how to keep your first 4 clients. Now, the very first thing you're going to want to do is build a solid Instagram profile. I pulled up some Instagram profiles that I think look professional. This is my Instagram profile right here, but feel free to use any of these 3 Instagram profiles as inspiration for your Instagram. The main thing here is you want to have pictures of yourself. You want to have a personality behind the outreach messages that you're going to be sending. Having pictures of yourself on your profile, having a website built out or a company page linked in your bio. These are the things that make you stand out and make you seem like a real business owner. So make sure that when you're going out to take pictures that you're in a professional setting. There's a city skyline or you're just at a nice dinner. There's a nice view. Maybe you have some vacation pictures you can put in a slide. Just make sure that you're presenting yourself nicely on these pictures. This is a step that so many people skip. They just make a crappy Instagram picture. They start outreaching to hundreds and hundreds of people and they're wondering why their response rates are so low. And when someone goes to click on your profile and there's nothing there, then they're not as likely to respond as if you actually spend a little bit of time building out your profile. The next thing you want to do is build your lead list. You're going to go to an influencer that you would want to work with. You're going to click the button next to the follow button, this button right here, and it's going to pull up all of the suggested accounts. It's going to pull up all of the similar pages to that account. Make your lead list 200 or 300 people. I like doing Notion lead lists, but you can do it on Notes. You can do it on Excel. You can do it on Google Docs. You just want to be able to click the link and have it take you to the Instagram profile so that you can just scroll through your lead list and do your outreach. Okay, so now you have a solid page and you have your lead list. Now you need to create a solid outreach message. This is one of the outreach messages that I sent to a potential client and I actually ended up closing this client. Yo, Melly, I love the movement. Would you be interested in launching a clipping army? We scaled Brez Scales and Vincent Fisher with the same model. The reason why that message worked is because I hit 3 points in that very short and concise message. I gave him a compliment, I said what I was offering, and I showed the value of what I was offering. The compliment here is, yo, Melly, I love the movement. Me showing what I do is, would you be interested in launching a clipping army? So obviously I'm in the clipping business. Me showing value is saying we scaled Brez Scales and Vincent Fisher. So obviously there's some value in my service. These are some examples of those 3 points you can hit. Now, what I would recommend is saying what you're offering and showing value, part of the message, and then personalizing the first line. Hey, Mike, congrats on the new Porsche. We could add tons of top of funnel traffic with clipping, would launch hundreds of pages that promote your brand in a way that focuses on converting audiences. Now, you're ripping solid outreach messages from a professional profile. You're getting responses, but how To increase this response rate is by following up. The very best way to follow up is story swipe ups, which not a lot of people know. And an even more correct way of doing it is by turning on story notifications for your top prospects and being one of those first people to swipe up. Now, you don't want to come across as super salesy. Yo, read my message. Never say, yo, read my message. That's the worst way you can follow up. Yo, just bumping on this message. Like, that's one of the worst ways to follow up. What you want to do when you're following up is just engage with their content. Yo, that's a sick car. Yo, that's an amazing view. The last reel you posted showed a lot of value. What you can do is also find a way to incorporate clipping. Yo, this car is insane. We can definitely utilize this with clipping. I actually just followed up with someone like that the other day and it worked really well. You could say, we could 10x the value of this video with clipping. That's one of the swipe ups that I actually use to close Vincent Fisher. Just make sure to not come across as too salesy when swiping up and following up, because that's the number one way to lower your response rates. The number one thing you need to focus on doing outreach is getting them on a call. And this is something I like to call message efficiency. You want to be as efficient and concise with your messages and sound as natural as possible. This means you want to get them to book a call with the least amount of words possible in the DM thread. If they ask a super in-depth question, you want to say, it would be much faster and easier if we could hop on a quick call later today if you're free. The last thing you want to do here is be sending 20 messages back and forth trying to pitch your client, answering all of their questions over the DMs. Do whatever you can to get them on a call. Also, another thing is utilize voice messages. Utilizing voice messages every so often can keep them engaged in the conversation and build a little bit of trust. So this is the most important part. How are you going to build long-lasting campaigns? So you're going to be going out and you're going to be making over $10,000 per month. But how are you going to keep those clients so you can consistently be making $10K per month for many, many months to come? It all starts in the initial launch phase of your campaign. At the beginning, you need to study your client. The main thing here is the content needs to convert for the client. You're going to take their content library and come up with one or two strategies that you can push at scale that is going to give them solid leads for whatever they're trying to sell. In order to do this, you're going to have to answer some questions. How do they make their money? No matter what, you're going to need to showcase personality in these clips. But if they're selling a fitness course, you need to utilize their educational content as well. Who is their target audience? What is the age of your target audience? What type of content are they engaging with? Look at other creators in the same niche that are killing. Look at the styles that they're using and see if those styles match up with your client. There's 100 different ways that you can frame a talking video. You need to find the right one that fits with the target audience. How will you leverage their content? What are their top clips? Does this client have a ton of cars? Does he go out to nice dinners and travel all the time? You need to package all of this content in the very best way possible for your clippers to go and utilize. Figure out what their core message is. Each creator has certain themes. Are they trying to motivate people, or are they trying to showcase that they are an authority in the space? Are they trying to start a big movement, or are they trying to be super controversial? You need to figure out what the core message or theme of your creator is. This is super important because the way you show the clippers on how to promote the content is going to dictate the success of the campaign. After you've spent a lot of effort in building strategy for your client, you're going to want to build a solid base for your campaign. The best thing you can do is model your campaign after a campaign that's already successful. How are they giving the information to their clippers? The main objective here is you want a clipper to be able to join your campaign and know exactly how to set up their page, what type of content that they need to push, and the basic requirements that they will need to follow in order to be approved for payouts. Pro tip here is you're going to want to put a ton of effort into providing the correct examples for your clippers to see at the beginning of the campaign. The next thing here is keeping your community engaged, which is extremely important. The more active your clippers are, the faster they will learn how to promote your client correctly, and the more money that they're going to make and the more money you're going to make for your client. How you're going to do this is giving tons of feedback on submissions. You're going to be getting hundreds, if not thousands of submissions. All of the posts that your clippers submit, you want to manually review and give feedback to. Even if you're approving a video, you want to DM them and tell them where they could have gone better on their video. This not only keeps the clippers engaged in your campaign, but it also just puts the content on the right track. Another important thing is public in-chat bonuses. Run challenges that you can give your clippers $10 to $20 if they win. A really good one that I like is just Send me an edit that wows me and I'll give you $20. Not only does this keep the Clippers super engaged, but it also gives them a chance to collaborate on their posts, which is very important for a long-lasting campaign. Quick response times. At the beginning stages of a campaign, you're going to get a ton of questions and you're going to want to answer them with speed. You want them to know that the admin behind this campaign actually cares about the quality of the content. Last thing here is live calls with your Clippers. Hold a few meetings per week with your Clippers. Make announcements leading people to your meetings so you can have as many Clippers as possible join. You want to go through their content live and talk to them about how to push the content correctly and how they can make more money within your campaign. What you need to focus on is not cutting any corners. Yes, some of these strategies are simple to implement, but it's very easy to start becoming lazy and not keeping your Clippers engaged and not using these hundreds of clips that you're getting to improve the content strategy as your campaign goes on. I'm going to get a point to consistently post on this channel educational content about clipping and clipping campaigns. Let me know in the comments if there's any video ideas that you want me to film next. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram and I'll do my best to answer those. I also offer one-on-one mentorship. If you're interested in that, you can DM me the word mentor. Peace out.